So Rory, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
for
having
joining
me.
us
No,
again.
My pleasure. Good
That
to see
year's
you.
gone fast.
It has.
The year's gone fast. Now, last year we were at the TaylorMade launch. This year at the TaylorMade launch for the M5 and the M6. But Pierce, I'm a little bit disappointed. We hoped that Rory was going to be bringing the green jacket with you
I know.
this
yeah.
year, but we're going to let you off because you brought the Ryder
You know
Cup.
what? You
Yeah,
said,
the
you
Ryder
said it in
Cup.
the video. We did the shot, you did the routine, you hit it down the fairway, and you said you were going to win it. That was it.
I know. I had a chance. I had a
You
chance.
did
I gave
actually.
myself a chance.
You did actually.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Yeah, we know you're going to win
We
it,
know
but
you
next
will.
year you can bring it with you next year.
Exactly.
Now, last couple of days have been good fun, testing out some of the new products, playing some golf with the guys. I mean, that
Yeah.
must be fun as well. How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been great. I think we're all really interested to see what the guys back in Carlsbad have been doing with working on the new equipment, the new driver, new irons, new putter, new ball. It's everything's sort of new for 2019. So it's been great to spend some time with the guys and test some of the stuff. And yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, with all this innovation and this technology, you think, how can they make it better than the previous year? But somehow they manage to do it. They find new ways, new materials, new thought process. So it's cool to see all the hard work that's went in over the past.
Yeah.
I guess it's not just the past year. I mean, these guys have been working on these products for the last sort of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, continuously pushing the boundaries, which is good to see.
Exactly.
2018 for you, win at the Arnold Palmer, tied second in the Open, tied fifth in the Masters. Sum up your season, how's it been for you?
Yeah, it's been I've been happy with the consistency. I think worldwide I've had I think it's like 10 top 10s maybe or something like that. I had that win at Bay Hill. I give myself 2 really good chances to win a couple of majors at the Masters and at the Open. Ryder Cup was obviously very special. So it's been a year where, I've been, it's been satisfactory. I've done everything, really well without maybe getting the results I've wanted. I had that one win and, I had a few seconds and stuff. I think I could have won a few times more than I have. I played in a lot of final groups, but the game is going in the right direction compared to where I was last year. I was coming back from injury. I was outside the top 10 in the world. I'm back inside the top 5. I'm getting my way back slowly and surely to where I want to be.
Yeah, it's been good to see him challenged on the last day a little more, which has been good, hasn't it?
And
really?
as you said, absolutely. When we saw you, you were still a little concerned about the rib. Could I actually go full power? So yeah, it's a fantastic sort of track that you're on, I think, for sure. So look, we're building the ultimate golfer, all part of this series. Now we know how good you are with driving. We know how good you are at sort of optimizing spin and launch and getting the most out of your size. I think pound for pound you are the longest, you have to be. But I think we're talking ultimate golfer, because the driver and the irons are so different, we have to be able to make that transition from driver to irons. And that for us really is something that the ultimate golfer should be able to do. So
For sure.
regarding performance with an iron, what's important for you?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost with irons, it's ball flight, making sure that you hit it with the proper trajectory. I think what works well for a driver, which is sort of heading up on it and sort of being very much side tilted this way, is not going to work to hit an iron. So I definitely feel, there's parts of my swing that feel very similar between an iron and a driver, but there's definitely some parts, especially in the downswing, that are very different with an iron, trying to compress the ball, which is obviously very different than what I do with the driver.
So flight obviously is key for you, sort of, I suppose, looking at different heights and optimizing the right height for you. But also with the driver, obviously it's about getting as far as you can go down there. With irons, it's about hitting to a specific number and being able to repeat that as well, isn't it, really?
It is consistency, being able to control your speed.
Yeah.
And I think having a bit of versatility, being able to hit, an 8-iron a few different distances and knowing how far that goes. I think that's something that's quite important too, especially if you're playing in wind and different conditions, you have to adapt.
So we've got TrackMan in place. We've got a beautiful looking hole here.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you hit some iron shots and just talk us through, you mentioned some differences between driver and iron. We'd love you to sort of demonstrate and talk us through how you would approach an iron differently, hit a couple of shots, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers and just see at home sort of what the guys can learn from that, if that's all right.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Definitely.
So we've got 195 to the middle of the green.
Yeah. So
About a 9-iron?
Yeah, not quite. There's a little bit of wind helping here, so I'm going to hit a 7-iron.
Okay.
A 7-iron usually goes between 185 and 190, so with that little bit of help, hopefully this should be the right club. And yeah, so when I'm looking to hit an iron, I mean, I think with anything you want to get the right setup. I feel with an iron, because it's shorter, I'm a little more over the ball than I would be with a driver. And this helps for a couple of things I'm working on in my swing. So if I feel like I've got a little bit more angle over it and my hip hinges a little more, for me it feels like the club can sort of work up a little bit better on the backswing, which I'm trying to do. But yeah, and then coming into the ball, I'm trying to get the ball to go this way with a driver, but with an iron you're trying to cover it with your chest and sort of almost drive it a little bit more. So
so I suppose how you position the ball in your stance, maybe the width of stance.
Yeah, width of stance. I mean, sometimes with irons I get a little bit narrow, which is, I guess shoulder width apart. And with this is a 7-iron, so sort of anywhere between sort of the front and the middle is sort of a good, I would be more towards the middle because I really like to cover my irons.
Yeah.
But that's sort of personal preference. But anywhere between the sort of inside of your heel and the middle of your stance is good with a mid iron.
Yeah, and that would make sense looking at the ball position would, because of the height you do hit it with the driver, so you're probably naturally hitting the ball high.
Yeah.
So if you want to control the flight, then putting it a little bit further back than some people, it obviously works very well for you. And
yeah,
ball
exactly,
position is always about preference for sure.
Yeah.
What about weight distribution? What do you do in your swing?
I mean, weight distribution, it's 50-50. Obviously there's not, there's a little bit of, help here with the wind, but it's a 7-iron, there's enough loft to get the ball in the air anyway. If this was back into the wind, I'd maybe just put a little more pressure into my left side.
Yeah.
But, I'm just trying to hit a neutral golf shot here, so it would be, weight would be pretty evenly distributed between both feet.
Okay.
Let's see hit a couple if we can.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, 195 to the middle, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, I might need to hit this pretty hard to get 195 out of it.
Very nice, not much curve on the ball on that one at all. And
very good.
The ball flight, you said, Rory, is just pretty neutral, not too much shape
pretty
at the
neutral,
moment.
yeah. I'm pretty comfortable at the minute working it both ways. Over the course of my career, I've predominantly hit a draw, but I feel like because I think I've maybe alluded to this last year when we spoke, because I've gotten stronger in my lower half, I feel like the club doesn't get behind me as much, so I can turn onto it better, and I can, if I want to hit the cut, I can hit that, more comfortably these days too.
Yeah. 196, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
That's
decent.
not too bad. 3 feet.
Perfect.
3 feet's bad. Not bad at all.
All right.
Okay, should we go? Let's watch hit another one. Let's watch hit another one. Because it is a thing of beauty for sure. Very nice. So, obviously, with golf, we're always looking to improve. I mean, your goals, I'm sure, are pretty lofty again for this year. Let's see what the number is. 193. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. So, as far as your golf swing is concerned, is there anything that you're working at the moment? You mentioned before off camera that you may be looking at doing some swing changes or doing some swing changes. What sort of things are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say they're swing changes because they're things that I've done before, but yeah, just trying to, and I've alluded to this all the way throughout the year, is trying to get back to this, swinging the way I felt when I played my best, which was a little bit more, I was saying sometimes this year my hands have sort of got out a little bit from my body, and then that encourages the club to sort of get very flat and very laid off, and it's just not a great position to be in from there. So I'm trying to get it so that my hands work more straight back here, but then from there my right elbow folds and I can set the club a little more vertically, so that it's sort of pointing more into here instead of outside the ball. And then from there, because sometimes I have quite a violent motion with my legs, if I do go a little bit too much, it gives me a little bit of margin for error so that it doesn't drop too far inside, and then you start to miss it left and right, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense. So would you ever do like short back swings and then hit shots?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm trying to do at the minute is I just take it to like this L position here, and then just hit little shots. It's obviously much easier to do with a wedge than a 7-iron, but that's one that I've been trying to work on. Another one I've done for quite a while is, just the first sort of 2 feet on the way back, just to make sure my hand path is where it needs to be. So I'll just bring it back here, and then I'll go to the top, and I'll hit it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, doesn't it?
I think if you start that golf swing in the right way, it's so much easier and takes out some compensations that we tend to get on the way down, isn't it, really? I think the easier we can make that, the better. And certainly the guys at home, we see a lot of different looking backswings early on in the golf swing, which certainly lead to some poor swings.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got 2 flags on the screen. I don't know if
Yes.
you managed to get that, but we'd love to challenge you into, or get some idea of how you would access both these pins.
Yep.
We've got a back left flag with a bunker tuck left there as well.
Yep.
205.
Okay.
How would you go about playing to that flag? Would you shape it differently?
I would. I mean, today's a little difficult because the wind's off the left. So, ideally, if there wasn't much wind, I would start this sort of in between those 2 flags and just let the ball try to drop left towards that back left pin. Today, with it being the way the wind is, I'd almost think about starting this straight at it, but hitting a draw so that it holds against the wind and sort of just trying to hold its line like that. I probably need to go with 1 more club to do that. So
Okay.
Let's have a
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
let's take it.
So is
I'll
that
probably
so
go
you would go, obviously the going against the wind as well loses a
little bit,
so,
yeah. So I'll go with 6 iron here.
Yeah.
6 iron tends to go around this number, so
Okay.
I think it should be a good one. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing, especially with wind, not to be afraid, especially if you're trying to hold the ball against the wind. It's very tough to get it going against it the wrong way, like it's you have to be able to trust turning it over whenever you're trying to hold it in. So
And that would be your preference if you're playing irons.
yeah, for sure,
Okay.
especially into this pin.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'll see what I can do here.
By the way, Andy said he challenged and he took it back. It is a challenge. You do need to get it close.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh, too much.
It's actually going to work out all right.
It's all right.
It's coming.
But do you know what's interesting
Oh, there you
about
go.
that as well?
All right.
It's like 10 feet.
What's great about that, it was a slight miss, well, not say it was a slight miss left, but
Yeah.
because of the breeze, and as you mentioned, it's very hard to turn it too much against
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
The wind was still pushing it back towards the flag, so
Yeah.
you'd still be happy with that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit more room, where the green is on the left than you can see from here.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you guys are taller than me, you can probably see a bit. But that was actually okay.
That was good. That was good. 209.
209.
Okay,
yards
there
on
you
that,
go.
So that's
Pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Okay, let's see, we've got a front right one, we've got 185 to the front, again with the wind down off the left. Just talk us through how you would, obviously you got a bit of green left of the pin here, would that change anything in your mind?
Yeah, a little bit. So again, this is with the wind off the left. I would always think the bad miss here would be short right.
Yeah.
That's it looks like a very difficult up and down. So I would always, especially for a front flag, I'd always take enough club, and if anything, take a little bit off it.
Yeah.
So for me, this is, I need to take probably 10 yards off a 7 iron here, but going left to right and just hitting it a little softer and maybe trying to float it a little bit, that'll take that 10 yards off.
And
So-
would you be looking to land this, be looking hopefully landing this left side of the flag?
Yeah, left side of the flag for
Yeah.
sure, especially if it's going to come in this way.
Okay.
So I'll probably try to start this sort of left edge of the green.
Left side, drifting back.
It's coming.
That's good. And he didn't actually pitch and stop pretty much there. Maybe it's, it's interesting to figure out why I did it. 185, so it's exactly
185.
pin high.
Okay, good.
Which is perfect. And although from here, it's a weird one, isn't it? We look at this and go, well, it doesn't look that close, but get down there, it's 20 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
And
of being
I've
perfect
missed
yardage.
it on the wrong side.
Yes.
It wasn't, it was a little further, I started it a little further left than I wanted,
Yeah.
but it was always working its way back towards
Yeah.
the target.
Yeah.
It's easy to make the mistake of chasing that pin down, but picking the spot left of the flag, and
Yeah.
even if you hit it slightly off, then you're still in a good place. You're not short-siding yourself.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing, especially on tour with a lot of the pin positions that we face. The biggest thing that you can't do is short side yourself.
Yeah.
It's some of this long, rough, and firm green. So
Yeah.
I'm always trying to err towards the side where there's more green.
Yeah, and we'll say to amateur golfers, pretty much the majority of the time, even if they've got a pitching wedge in the hands, just go for the middle of the green.
Yeah.
You hit it in the middle of the green, unless you're playing at St Andrews, you go for the middle of the green, you're pretty much going to have a birdie chance. And if you do miss that middle of the green, which invariably amateur golfers will,
Yeah.
they're actually going to have more chance of hitting that green.
Exactly, yeah, margin for error, and that's the thing. Like, even a decently, a decent amateur player, if you took the 2 flags out of the screen and you said, okay, just hit this green,
Yeah.
they would feel under less pressure, and they would make a better swing because of it, make a more
Yeah.
committed swing. So, yeah, sometimes I think if I'm going for a par 5 and 2, say 230 over water, all I'm thinking about is just
Get it on the green.
well, good strike and hit the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's as complicated as it needs to be at times.
Yeah, we can certainly
It's
make the
interesting.
strategy side of things simpler. We always talk about
Yeah,
it a lot.
Interesting you
Yeah.
say good strike as well, because that's obviously really important.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely, and also make sure if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, also subscribe to see more great videos, and also go to the Me and My Golf Weekly to check out the swing analysis of Rory McIlroy. Rory, thanks so much.
Thank
No
you.
worries, thank you.
Can
Thank
you bring the
very
green
much.
jacket with you next year?
I will.
Please, Rory,
Yeah,
please.
I promise.
A bit warm to wear it today though, yeah? Don't wear
Oh,
it.
I would wear it every day of the year if I had it.
Cheers, Rory. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I don't think I can remember when I fell in love with golf. It's been a constant in my life since I was born, really. I couldn't imagine anyone's life without golf. Through Golf Pass, I just want the avid fan of golf to have a better experience, to enjoy it more, to be able to experience different courses, you know, get a few of the perks that some of the pros do, making it as enjoyable as it possibly can be. I think that's the best way to give back to people that are fans of golf.
Get to the heart of your game with Golf Pass.
Thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed that. We absolutely love doing that.
Yes, now if you're somebody who's looking to break 90, then we have the perfect solution. We've created a 6-week coaching plan where myself and Piers personally guide you week by week to help you break 90. Now to go and check out part 1, or week 1 should I say, click the link in the corner and we will see you over there.